Hi, Scott Macaskill here again with another tip in this video series, and today I'm focusing on the grip and in particular the role of the right hand in the swing. I'm going to go behind the camera now just to show you a couple of pointers. Just going to show you in the correct left hand position with the club nice and square. We need the grip running from the middle joint of the index finger here to the pad at the base of the little finger. Allow the fingers to face down to the floor. Wrap the fingers around and the thumb sits just right of center with the thumb and forefinger at the same level, the same length. This is what's known as a short thumb position as opposed to the often seen long thumb. And that can inhibit the correct wrist action. So this is the correct way to go. Thumb down the right hand side slightly, and you can see here a little V shape formed by the thumb and the forefinger. That should point just right of your chin into your right shoulder as a right hander. Obviously reverse all of this for a left hander. One of the key things is when we go to apply the right hand, if I just drop down there a bit, we can choose many different grips. Obviously we've got the baseball grip, which is just in all the fingers of the right hand. We can go interlock, where we slot in the forefinger in between the little finger of the right hand, and we can go overlap, where the little finger just slots in the small gap between the forefinger and the middle finger of the left hand. Middle two on the grip, and then thumb and forefinger on. One of the things I wanted to discuss today was, as so many people do the interlocking, most notably Tiger Woods, I see this a lot. You've got to be very, very careful with the interlock that you don't wedge this right hand right in tight to the base of its fingers, because what's going to happen there, you can see the grip running across the palm. When we try and get the thumb on top, it becomes very difficult and we end up in this very strong right hand position here. Very difficult to control the club face from there. So as a word of caution, if you're going to go for the interlock, make sure it's on half and half position there, so that the grip runs along the ends of the fingers, thus enabling us to get the pad of the right hand on top of the left hand thumb, and the thumb and forefinger again forming this nice little V position. Okay, that's going to give you a position there where the V's are pointing just to the right of the chin into the middle of the shoulder, and it gives you a nice equal grip position. I'm just coming round again. So just to show you from the front, interlock, we don't want to wedge tight into the base of each finger. We want to go half and half, allowing us to get a soft right hand position where the thumb and forefinger are nicely on top of the grip there. Okay, so remember your V positions, and incidentally we're looking for two knuckles on the back of the left hand. And again, apologies to left-handers, just reverse all of this for yourselves, okay? Now, the reason we're looking at this today is because when we see a lot of golfers in the wrong position with the right hand, it leads to a lot of twisting of the club face. Quite often, as the right hand's underneath, it leads to closing down of the club face, which is going to tend to make the ball go to the left. But equally, it's also about poor ball striking as well. If the club face is twisting through impact and we're trying to get it to go straight down the target line here, if it's coming in at an angle and it's catching the ball off the toe, obviously you're not going to get as clean or as crisp a strike. So very, very important that we start with a square face and that we get a club face that's travelling straight down the target line with a square face as well. That's the definition of a beautiful strike. So a good drill, and this is a way of testing how good your control of the club face is to hit shots one-handed. And for right-handers, it's good to do this just with the right hand on. So you would apply your grip as normal, both hands on, and then when you're ready, you remove your left, place it behind your back, and make a nice chipping swing, just back and through, remembering to turn our head and chest to target, and try and keep that club face as square as possible. What that's going to do for you is give you the feeling as if you're doing like an underarm throw. An underarm throw for most people is a very natural thing. If you were to hold a ball in your right palm and I throw towards a camera, the palm faces the target all the way through the swing. Okay, obviously on a golf swing we need to go into a larger swing. the palm will turn away from the target slightly, but in the initial stages it's always going back and through to our target. So if I was to give you a ball to throw, it'd be very easy to throw that ball fairly straight and not expect it to go left or right too much. And the same is true when we're holding a golf club. The golf club is just an extension of our hands and our arms. Okay, so if we turn our bodies through and rock those shoulders, the arm should swing back and through with the palm fairly straight on to our eventual target, which should make chipping, putting, pitching and even long approach shots fairly routine to hit our target. So as long as we follow that rule. So I'm just going to hit a one arm swing just to show you how to do it, and I'll make a few pointers for you. Okay, fairly clean shot there. What I was looking for really there is to make sure that as we hit through the ball that we're not flicking the club, let's get in there, not flicking it to the left, but trying to keep the club in front of us all the way through to just before the halfway through position. That's a good sign that your palm is going towards a target and the club face is mirroring that position all the way through. And then obviously if we swing a bit further, we're going to find the wrist will hinge and take the club slightly more up and around the body. But in that initial swing through the strike area, we're going to see the palm going towards the target, therefore the club head is going to stay out in front of us and then hinge upwards. And if you practice that, it's amazing how good and how much of a feeling you get for the strike and where the club face is at impact. And there's nothing quite like that sensation of a nice square club face, nice square palm position to your target, and then turning the chest and the head through to your target to maintain that. That's when you get your best possible strikes and the most control. And as I mentioned last time, especially on those short chips and pitches, you get unparalleled control and spin on the greens. So do that as a drill regular and you will find that you'll get a very good control of the club face and better control of the ball on the greens. Have a go.